Good evening, sir. Good evening, classmates. I am going to discuss the second part of our report with the topic of going online. So, the outline, integrating an e-commerce facility, choosing a web host server, web management team, and search engine optimization. So, first, e-commerce integration can be defined as the coordination between your business point of sale software and your e-commerce platform. With e-commerce integration, you can connect previously separated source of data. For retail businesses, this usually means their point of sale system and their e-commerce website. With integrated systems, you will be able to remove manual data. So, sinasabi dito na hindi na natin kailangan manually i-entry ang mga data, mga records ng ating businesses. It will automatically regenerate by the system. So second, increase staff efficiency. Uh, hindi na natin kailangan mag-hire ng maraming tao or staff na gagawa ng trabaho because the system can do it efficiently na. So hindi na natin kailangan ng mas maraming manpower, no? Then the third one is to keep customers happy. It gives the conveniency to the customers. Increase revenue, uh, of course, kapag advance ang iyong technology na integrated na yung iyong system, mas marami ang nare-reach na customers, mas marami ang nakakaalam ng produkto mo. So, it will help you to increase your revenue. Next is choosing a web host server and plan. What is web host server? Web hosting is an online service that enables you to publish your website or web application on the internet. When you sign up for a web hosting service, you basically rent some space on a physical server where you can store all the files and data necessary for your website to work properly. So this is the examples of our web host server. We have the Hostinger, HostGator, InMotion Hosting, Bluehost, GreenGeeks, and many more. Now, how can we choose the best web hosting service provider? So, performance, security, support, and cost are the four main factors to consider when it comes to choosing a web host. So, let us discuss it one by one. So, first, we have the performance. Performance is the most significant trait of any good web hosting service provider. It is what affects the speed and reliability of your website. So, in performance, we have the server response time, reliability. So, of course, mahalaga yan na on time yung ating system, hindi nagkakaroon ng conflicting sa time. Of course, syempre, we have customers outside the Philippines, for example. So there's a gap or there's a difference between the time of two countries. So dapat nagtatali yan. So next is the resource limit. Knowing how reliable web hosting service providers products are can save you a lot of heartache down the road. Fast websites are important, but knowing your websites will always be available to potential customer is vital. Data center location. Data centers are where web hosting companies place their servers to take advantage of high bandwidth infrastructure and other needs such as power and cooling. So, scalability. Scaling up means that you can move on to other plans that can cope with the increased needs of your site as its volume in traffic expands. So next, Security. Aside from hosting and serving your website files, web hosting service providers are also responsible for the security of the web hosting environment. This means that they must ensure that their servers are safe for you to use. So we have the backup and recovery. Anything IT related is open to possible failure, and having a backup could mean the difference between a quick recovery and total loss. So, secure socket layers. Ayan. We have also the secure file transfers. Always remember that when you are communicating with a web server, your communications are passing through the internet. Keeping your website secure is important, but you also should try to make sure that anything you are sending to or receiving from your server is safe. Auto-malware scanning. Web hosts vary in the degree of malware protection their customers get. So, and lastly, the bot fighting system. Bot attacks are extremely common, and unless we actively monitor our websites, they are generally below our radar. To combat this, some web hosts have bot detection system that help safeguard the sites on their servers. So, third, the support. As with any other product, web hosting also need customer service and everything ranging from sales to technical support. When it comes to web hosting companies, it is important to note two key things: type of channel and technical expertise. Support channels can range widely with everything from knowledge bases to on-call staff. The first line of support is normally comprehensive information that allows users to learn and solve their own problems. Some web hosting companies have very extensive knowledge bases that even come with video tutorials and detailed how-to guides. And technical expertise, because web hosting companies often offer a wide range of products, it can be a challenge for them to be knowledgeable in every technology. So if you want to know that they have the expertise you need, then it would be better to look for a specialized web host. And the last one is the pricing. Pricing is something that affects almost everyone who wants to own a website. There are many different types of websites around, and unfortunately, not all of them were built with commercial intent. Sign up and renewal prices. Because of the extremely competitive nature of the web hosting industry, so kailangan ma-secure natin na we have the renewal prices kapag nag-a-apply tayo ng mga web hosting servers. So, money back guarantee, of course. Meron din dapat tayo. Next is the web management team. In a company, a web team is the subsector responsible for handling all digital material as it directly relates to the company's objectives and business. This means they are responsible for having the right tools, skilled people, regulation, and technology necessary to be a fully functioning and possibly independent unit. So we have four here, which are the lead designer, lead developer, assistant developer, and web manager. So, okay, let's move on to the lead designer. When it comes to web teams, a lead designer can perform in a various roles of design and is not limited by tools or media. Being specialized lead designer means being able to create material that combines some of the best aspects of a web team. So one thing that designers must be careful of is trying to utilize all the digital design elements at once. So si lead designer, i-ensure niya na sa isang websites, hindi lahat ng features or elements na nandoon ay gagamitin para sa isang project lang, or uh, we lead designer should design what elements lang, kung anong elements lang yung gagamitin for the particular projects. Lead developer, one of the main functions of a lead developer is to set the standard for which all the coding will be written. They must be knowledgeable of the analytics required and understand core digital development principles like digital infrastructure, web design, and user engagement. User engagement in this capacity is different than it is for the social media team member. So this role is more behind the scenes and governs the tools and services that users have access to rather than having direct client engagement. Assistant developer. An assistant developer would have some of the skills from a variety of developer subclasses. This would include graphic design, front-end and back-end development, and also being able to write in a variety of computer languages from HTML to JavaScript program. So an assistant developer works under the lead developer, of course, and is a key player in helping projects move toward completion. And lastly, we have the web manager. The web manager can be thought of as the general manager of the web team and the last point of contact before the more corporate roles. They oversee all the other departments on the web team, and because of this, we'll have some general knowledge on how to work the majority of them. So the web manager is also responsible for the delegation of duties among the team, and because of this, carries a great deal of responsibility depending on how the team will perform. One of the goals of most web managers is to ensure that on a daily basis, all of the web components like sites, customer care options, payment acceptance, etc., are all functioning at the most basic acceptable levels. So, search engine optimization. Search engine optimization refers to techniques that help your websites rank higher in organic or natural search results, thus making your website more visible to people who are looking for your product or service via search engines. So on Google alone, there are over 694,000 searches conducted every second. So every second that your website is not indexed on Google, you are potentially missing out on hundreds, if not thousands of opportunities for someone to visit your website, read your content, and potentially buy your product or services. So meaning, if kung hindi ka na hindi ka updated sa mga search engine, ah, sa mga search engine, mapag-iiwanan ka ng mga ibang businesses na in just one click, like for example, in Google, sinearch ng mga customers, they want this kind of product. So, lalabas agad lahat doon ng mga businesses na nagpo-provide ng ganong product. Then, kapag ikaw, wala ka sa search engine na yun, so, nalulost mo yung chance na ma-discover yung business mo na nagpo-provide ng same product din, katulad ng mga ibang nasa businesses. So, next is, that's all, sir, and classmates. Thank you.